Hi everyone, it's Cheri and welcome back to Starting Over with Cheri. Tomorrow is June 1st, and before I begin my June reset, I wanted to share or talk about again what inspired me to do it. I am so on fire about this topic. I am so excited and ready to go. But anyway, if you've watched my previous videos, you will remember or recall that on Friday, I attended a graduation of someone that's very special to me. Her name is Tiara. I've known her since she was just a few months old, and I'm very close to her parents. Over the years, I've had the privilege of watching her grow up. She does have autism, and seeing her walk across that stage Friday night was very emotional for me. Not because autism defines who she is, but because I've witnessed so much of her journey. I've watched her grow, learn, overcome challenges, and reach milestones. I've also watched her parents love, support, advocate, and celebrate every accomplishment that she has achieved along the way. So as I sat there Friday watching her graduate, I found myself reflecting on growth. You know, we often celebrate the big moments in life, but we don't always think about everything that happened before those moments. We sometimes, we see someone walk across the stage, but we don't always see the years of hard work, perseverance, patience, and determination that made that moment possible. Watching her graduate reminded me that growth happens one day at a time. It also made me think about June. June is a meaningful month for a lot of reasons. There's Autism Pride Day, which is June 18th, and then there's Juneteenth, which is June 19th. Well, actually, it's the whole week for both. While they are very different observances, both made me think about acceptance, growth, resilience, and freedom. One of the things I appreciate about the concept of neurodiversity is the reminder that people don't all think, learn, communicate, or experience the world in the same way. Different doesn't mean less. Different doesn't mean broken. It just simply means different. And when I think about Juneteenth, I think about freedom. As I reflected on all of this over the weekend, I found myself asking a question. What do I need freedom from? And that answer came pretty quickly. I need freedom from the unrealistic expectations that I've placed on myself over the years. I need freedom from believing that my worth is tied to my productivity. I need freedom from believing the idea that I always have to be accomplishing something in order to feel valuable. I recently received a promotion at work, and I am incredibly grateful for it. But if I'm being honest, part of me immediately felt like I had to do more, achieve more, and prove more. The truth is, nobody expects me to work late. Nobody expects me to work on the weekends. That's just something that I have done to myself. I just want to be clear that when I talk about working weekends or freeing myself from work or putting unrealistic expectations on myself, that is not coming from my employer or my boss. In fact, I've been fortunate enough to have a manager who has been incredibly supportive and who understands me better than I sometimes understand myself. She has never expected me to work on weekends or prove my value through overworking. If anything, she's helped me recognize some of the habits and expectations that I've placed on myself. The pressure I've been talking about isn't pressure that anyone has put on me. It's pressure that I've put on myself. I've spent years believing that everything has to get done and it has to be done quickly. And somehow my value has gotten connected to how much I accomplish. And also along the way, my work became a much bigger part of my identity than I ever intended it to be. That realization has been weighing on me really heavy lately. But yesterday, I did something that might sound small to most people, but it's not. It's big for me. I just went and got myself a manicure and a pedicure just because. For many people, that's small and that's normal self-care. But for me, it isn't. Because I spent so much of my life putting everyone and everything else first. And, taking time for myself sometimes, it just felt a little uncomfortable. But yesterday felt different. My day was full, but none of it involved work. And honestly, it felt really good. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I was getting my life back. This morning, I did a guided meditation, and it gave me time to reflect on what I want the month of June to look like. I don't want another month to go by where I put myself at the bottom of the list. I don't want another month to go by where work is the only thing I consistently make time for. I want to be intentional. I want to be present. I want to take care of my mind, my body, and myself. So if you've watched any of my recent videos, you've already heard me talk about the 2 challenges that I'm starting. Well, actually, I'm starting one tomorrow. I already started one yesterday, Saturday. The Mindfulness and the Self-Compassion Challenge, I actually started that yesterday. And the other challenge is my commitment to walking 10,000 steps a day for the month of June. And I may continue after June. But after everything that I've been reflecting on this weekend, I've decided to add a 3rd challenge, and that is a hydration challenge. The truth is, I don't drink nearly enough water. If I'm going to be more mindful and if I'm going to be walking 10,000 steps a day, then I need to take hydration seriously too. My goal is to gradually increase my water intake throughout June until I'm consistently drinking a minimum of 64 ounces of water a day. And for many people, that is nothing. But for me, it's a big deal because I can honestly go days without drinking water. And I know that is not good for my body. So when I first started talking about all these challenges, I was focused on what I wanted to do. This weekend helped me understand why I want to do them. These challenges aren't about perfection. They're not about punishment. They're not about becoming a different person. They're about taking better care of myself. They're about making my health, my well-being, and my happiness a priority. They're about creating a life that includes me. Watching Tiara graduate Friday reminded me that growth doesn't stop. At 62 years old, I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm still becoming. And maybe that's what starting over really means. Not becoming someone new, but giving myself permission to become more of who I already am. Tomorrow is day 1 of my June reset, and I'm going to document this journey right here on YouTube. You'll probably hear from me every day with a short or a small video or something. So if you've been thinking about making a change, taking better care of yourself, or starting over in some area of your life, I hope that you will join me. I hope that my videos will reach someone or someone is able to connect and relate to this whole idea of starting over. Again, I'm 62. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to get your life in order. So if this resonates with you, please join me. Please like, comment, subscribe, just whatever your heart feels up to doing, please do. Thank you again for listening, and you will hear from me day 1 of day 30. I hope you all have a great Sunday. Thank you.